Hey guys, it's Stephanie.
I'm Trey.
And this is your weekly dose of BS. It's
back to school week at the home and house.
Yes. Okay, I have some stories about back to school week.
Okay.
So first of all, this happens at the end of last week. Cruz goes back, but days before he goes back, we figure out his teacher and his classroom situation, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm in this mom group, this text chain with all of his friends' moms, and everyone's like, oh, who did you get? Who did you get? Who did you get? So they are all separated. I think on purpose.
Is it as big of a deal for the moms the teacher gets as it is the kid?
Yes, because you want a good teacher. Like if I had a really haggy teacher, I would absolutely ask to be transferred immediately, even though I'm not a student from her class, because I have to deal with this person as well. He has a great teacher though. Super excited. Anyway, so all of this group, there's like seven of them. They all hang out together. They're all buddies. Well, I think the school is smart and realized they're all too social with each other. So they are all in different classes, right?
Okay.
So Cruz finds out that he's not with any of his friends in class, and he kind of finds out who's in a few people that are in his class, and he is in tears. This is before going to his counselor that he has to go to for his ADD medication.
Okay.
And he's like in tears, and I'm like, Cruz, it's fine. He is like, that's it. I'm just going to go to Chance's school. I'm like, oh my gosh, well, you can't move schools 2 days before. Like this, there's a process. So we got to make it one more year, and then you can, if it's that bad, you can move. And he's like, I have nobody. This is horrible. And I'm like, it's just your homeroom. And he's like, no, but that's who you eat lunch with. Anyways, like he's crying. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is ridiculous. And I'm like, I shouldn't have even told you. I should have just let it be a surprise so you could have your nervous breakdown in school. And I didn't have to be part of it. So anyways, so I'm on the phone with my sister, and I'm like saying everybody in his class, and then Cruz is messaging his girlfriend. So Cruz has had a girlfriend since school's been out this summer, right?
I'm surprised this relationship is lasting.
It's like
as long as it
still
has.
going. So he's on texting this girl. She messages him and he responds pretty much is what happens. He's horrible at texting. So she's like, hey, who do you have? And he's like, Mom, who do I have again? So through his tears, and I tell him, I'm like, you have so-and-so, this teacher. And I tell him how to spell the name. And then his girlfriend's like, same, I have her too. So then he's really excited.
Oh.
So then I'm like, Cruz, this is awesome. At least you know somebody. He's like, well, I guess I'll just hang out with her. And she'll just be my friend, right? Because I don't have any other friends in the class. And I'm like, well, that's perfect. You guys will have a real strong relationship by the end of the year.
Yep.
And then he says, and then I said, I asked him if he was glad that she was in his class. And he said, yes. I have it written down. He said, yeah. But if I break up with her, I am screwed.
He's gonna make new
So
friends.
he has to have this relationship. He's like, I have to have this relationship all year long because if not, he was like, I cannot piss her off. If I don't have her, I have nobody.
That's a lot of pressure.
So I feel like I'm going to let this girl know today after we do this. It's meet the teacher. Like we have this little meeting, and I'm going to let her know and be like, listen.
Breaks his heart.
He cannot break up. You cannot break up with him. He cannot break up with you. You're his only person.
Yep.
So he has one person in his class he's very excited about. So yeah, it's his girlfriend. Chance also started school. He's not that crazy about his teacher, but he is he is crazy about football because he has been put on O-line, which doesn't seem like a big deal. I didn't know either until I realized it was the end of his world. He's very unhappy. I don't know. Maybe it'll change.
Is that like offensive? Something?
It's like where they put all the bigger guys to block.
They call him fat?
He's one of the
tall.
taller
Okay.
and he's not an ounce of fat on him, but he's very muscular. They don't have, it's a school that has a lot of little kids. He's one of the bigger. I'm like, Chance, unfortunately for you, your other friend moved to a different school who was on O-line. So Chance is like, anyways.
Is O-line bad?
For him, yes, because he's been training all summer to be a wide receiver.
Oh.
And for me, it is too. I'm going to talk to this coach because I have thousands of dollars personally into him training to be a wide receiver. It's the principle. So yes, I have one kid mad about his football that they're playing him O-line, and then another kid
Rough week at the home and house.
Yeah, it's been a real crazy. Yes, it's been real crazy. But I am so happy.
Girlfriend?
Yeah, he has a girlfriend, but she goes to a different school.
Wait, what?
She came over to our house. I have not talked to you in a while because I have been.
Hey, you're on your cruise for a year.
Yes. Okay. Oh my gosh. So I get back from my cruise. I can't believe I haven't talked to you. I get back from my cruise. Now, Chance has been to this girl's house before with all of his friends because
Is this the one where he was trying to Uber to have the pizza thing?
No, this was a different girl that he
what a player.
didn't want me to take, and then the family invited him over for pizza. I think I talked about this in the podcast.
The same girl?
No, this is a different
Oh,
girl.
okay.
Okay. So this is a new girlfriend. They've been together for about 2 months now, right?
What?
Yes. Both my boys are in long-term relationships. Can't believe it. One out of choice, the other because he has no other friends. So he has to. Like, she's his only person. Honestly, he does not want to break up with her. I thought maybe he would when school started. I asked him, I was like, are you going to break up with your girlfriend now that you're going to have your friends? This was before Cruz found out
Have they
about
seen
his.
each other all summer, by the way?
Just at the beginning of school year party, but they will see each other every day. In their class. So anyway, so Chance has been to his girlfriend's house. Him and like his buddies, her parents will have people over and they'll swim and have pizza. But she's never been to our house. But I've met her before, but Travis had not. So Travis was like, Chance, you cannot continue to go see your girlfriend if we don't meet her. Like, that is crazy. You need to invite her to our house so we can meet your girlfriend. Also, it looks weird that you don't want your parents to meet your girlfriend because we're so cool, right? Like, it's a principle.
Yep.
So Chance reluctantly invites her over. He has some friends over. She comes with one of her girlfriends.
I already have secondhand embarrassment. Wait, she brought a friend?
Yeah, well, it's good. Chance had a few friends over, so it's good. Like, I think it would be awkward if it was just her. So she brought a girlfriend of hers over to our house.
I'm surprised he wouldn't want his girlfriend over because, like, y'all are the cool house.
I totally agree. That's why I'm so stressed out. But
y'all are
Chance
the
is
big house. That's the cool house.
Chance is very secretive, though. I think he gets embarrassed easily, so it's kind of like he doesn't want.
Cruz has no shame.
No, Cruz would.
Chance, though?
Chance has a lot. Yeah, he's a secretive one. So anyway, so his girlfriend came over. Travis and I met her. She's real sweet. Her friend was real sweet. I was like, if you step foot in that room, you have to have the door open at all times because I am in charge of this girl's livelihood while she's at my house, right? So, but it was good. Like, I ordered them pizza.
Yep.
She was really sweet. They didn't swim. I thought they would swim. They did not swim. They actually were out in the front yard just like riding bikes.
You know, the more I think about it, you put Chance in the room that Chance has, like, opens up to like the main, I don't want to call it like an atrium, but it's basically an atrium.
Yeah.
There is like a whole wall of doors that opens in Chance's room. That kid has no privacy.
No,
if
there's
you really
zero privacy. All of those were open. I mean, it was pretty much like the moment that they.
It's like she knocked down a wall.
Oh yeah, I'm like, all the doors must be open.
Yep.
And not his main door, like all the ones that.
Yep. All the big doors.
Yeah, that show me exactly what's going on. She was really cute. She stayed till like 10, and then her parents came and got her. I didn't meet her parents because I didn't want to like chase after her, and she left so soon, so I didn't want to be like.
I want to meet this girl now.
You should. She's real
He
sweet.
has still yet to let me chaperone a date for him.
Me too. Don't feel bad. Yeah, you should. You should. But she's real cute. I think they say I love you. I know they've kissed.
What?
I think so. This is coming from this is coming from the cousins, right? So he told his guy cousins that they have kissed. So I know they've kissed.
Well, what's a kiss?
Nothing. I mean, I'm not worried. It's cute. 14.
Because
He's 14.
I've talked to Chance's friends, and they don't really know some of the words they say.
No.
Like, one of them was like, this was, I don't know, maybe 6 months ago. He was like, me and my girlfriend hooked up. And I was like, what does that mean? He was like, we cuddled. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
they're so cool.
Yeah, they don't know. They don't know a lot. But
kiss might have been on the cheek.
I know they've kissed.
Was this his first kiss? No.
I don't know. I'm wondering. Yes, maybe. He's shy. I think Chance is kind of shy.
Right.
He's like kind of shy with girls.
Cruz would be like, plant one right here.
Oh, Cruz is the one I'm worried about. Yeah, Cruz. There's a reason I'm really glad that him and his girlfriend only text messaged all summer long. And I would not. I mean, first of all, I think it's weird to have a 12-year-old's girlfriend coming over anyway. So Cruz is like a few years down. 14, I think, is a good age to like. Chaperone them seeing each other. But yeah, it was really good. She's sweet, but I try not to be too cool. Like, I try not to talk to her too much.
You try not to be, so you really have to downplay.
I have to downplay how cool I am. I really do. I'm like, okay, I don't want her to like me more than my son, so I have to really downplay like how cool I am.
So, like, I started watching reality TV when I was probably like 13, 14. Do we think we're getting to the point where like these girls will know who you are because like they probably watch other Real Housewives franchises?
Ooh, I don't know. That could either be
your
good.
Cool factor might come out of nowhere and just like
I could
blindside you.
Yeah, like super. Maybe I'm cool and I don't know it. Yeah, you never know. But I will say, I do think this girl likes me. I think she thinks I'm very cool. And I told her whenever she left, I was like, oh my gosh, you should come over all the time. Like, we'd love to have you anytime you want to come over.
You
bring
call
friends.
me. You call me.
I'll have you come over.
Yep.
Anyways, but yeah, she's super, super cute. And yeah, I have not met Cruz's girlfriend yet. Like, I'm going to meet her today because I'm going to go to the school. I have it on good authority that they sit right next to each other.
Oh.
So, yes.
Already?
Well,
they have assigned seats?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And I think the teacher knew that they were boyfriend girlfriend because she put them right next to each other. It's very exciting. So
interesting.
I'm going to figure this out.
Does them having girlfriends not stress you out a little bit?
No, because they're too young to do anything stupid.
Yeah, but like
now at 16, when they have a car,
like in 2 years, are you going to start like,
yeah, then I'm going to need them to like cut it back a little
Mama's
bit.
in the back seat.
Yes, but right now, no, because everything is so heavily chaperoned.
Mm-hmm.
Like they see each other at sporting events or like when she was at my house, like I was there the whole time and I totally trust like her parents. I've messaged them like, make sure they're not alone together. Yep. So I think it would stink. Okay, I've had friends who had older daughters. And I think where it stinks is if you're not on the same page as the person's parents. So her kid went to a different school, was dating this bad boy whose parents really were not involved at all. Yeah. And she would sneak out of the house and go spend the night with him, and the parents wouldn't help her with the situation. And that's where I would have a problem if it was, if there was not a good community. Like if my son was dating somebody whose parent was like, didn't care what they did. Like I want somebody who will help keep both of them on the right track.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
It's important. Yes. But yeah, I think 16, I'll be nervous about a lot of things. Driving, because my kids have to drive on the tollway every day. That'll be super stressful.
Oh, yeah.
Like that'll stress me out. And like the dating, yes, but I think more just them having cars and going a long distance and really crazy traffic even for me.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
I didn't think about the tollway.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I may have to move. I may have to buy another house from you just to live close to.
Take the back roads.
Yep.
What?
We could break there. We're 12 minutes in.
Oh.
So we need to do one more 10 minutes.
Okay, Trey, what do you have to talk about?
Did you read this story? Well, back up. On Twitter, people are asking for Sandra Bullock to return her Oscar for The Blind Side.
What? Why?
So, do you remember the whole story with The Blind Side?
I love that movie.
So this family, like wealthy family, adopted this guy. He was about to turn 18, got him into a good college, went on
like he became like a football star.
Yeah, went on to be a football star, all this stuff.
Yes.
So he is now saying that they didn't actually adopt him.
What?
What they did was when he turned 18 was right before they turned 18, they got power of attorney over him. So he got no money from that movie.
Oh my gosh.
They used him to make like $350 million in like business deals.
Oh my gosh.
And they are basically screwing him out of his fortune. And so he no longer wants to be associated with them.
Oh my.
But they never legally adopted him. So Twitter's like, she needs to get back the Oscar because that story wasn't even real. Meanwhile, she had no idea.
No, she had no idea. I feel like it's more the family that's.
Yes. Isn't that crazy?
People. That was one of the
best
movies.
Such a heartwarming story.
I know. That was one of the best movies. Actually,
all fake.
The other day I was studying because Chance plays football and so does Cruz. And I was like, and I always am looking at things to watch as a family. And I was like, oh my gosh, they would love The Blind Side. I think it's such a great story of, especially like, it's really sweet, the family part of it, but then also just this guy went from not playing football to being like amazing. And then I love things like that. Like I love, especially with my kid, especially the one that doesn't practice that often, shows what you can do with a little hard work. Yeah. So I'm always trying to motivate him. Mm-hmm. That is insane. And also how crappy. I think you have a lot of people that do things for the wrong reasons. Or does he think that they took him in because he was so great at football? Or so
they think that they were very strategic and because a lot of that money went to their other kids or helped their other kids build businesses.
That's so
but not
crappy.
Him. I mean, he is a professional football player, but like
that is insane.
Yeah,
that is insane. But you hear that, like that's kind of what's sad is you see all these people that you think do things because they're good people. And then you so many times find out that they're not. Like even like foster parents. Like I think to be a foster parent is such a big responsibility and it's such a beautiful thing to do. But then you hear of people who foster kids for the wrong reasons and are really horrible to the kids because I guess they get paid. And it's just sad, I think, anytime it has to do with.
Yeah, did you see this story? I saw this on TikTok and then I went and found it somewhere else. There were these 2 lesbians that adopted these like 8 kids.
Uh-huh.
And basically they were doing it because they were getting paid X amount of dollars per child, but they weren't taking care of the kids. They weren't showering for days. They weren't eating. They weren't doing all this stuff. They're using the money for other purposes besides taking care of the kids. And so then CPS started like catching on and started investigating. And one morning, they realized this case was like coming in close, and they told the kids they were going on a road trip, and they drove like off the Grand Canyon.
What?
Just and killed the whole family.
That's the most depressing thing I've ever heard. No, but I just think it's crazy.
Happy Thursday.
The Blind Side. Yeah, The Blind Side sucks. Like now that's ruined for me. I never will watch it the same. And then,
I know.
yeah.
Okay, you have been watching Hijack.
Oh, yeah. If you've not been watching it, it is so good. It is so good.
So long.
Yes.
You know, I used to hate like 2.5 hour movies. I'm like, that takes forever. But for some reason, I can sit my happy ass down on the couch for 7 hours and watch a series.
Yes. Same. You know what? I love it all. I can watch a series. I can watch a long movie.
Yeah.
I love it all.
Yep.
Yes.
But
it's a good series.
Very good.
Super.
Highly
Yeah.
recommend it. Idris Elba's in it. He's great. It all takes place on a plane.
Yep.
So if you're traveling soon, I wouldn't watch it. But if you're not,
Yep.
really good.
I will say I have like this horrible, like I get scared of planes. Like every time they take off, I'm like, oh, Lord Jesus, please don't let me be one of those people.
Weekly Dose of BS is sponsored by BetterHelp.
Okay, so right now in my therapy sessions, I feel like I talk about my kids a lot, which I always have, but especially this dating world is so new. I don't quite know how to handle it.
Yeah, that's only going to get better.
Yeah, and I think that there's a fine line between trying to be too cool of a mom and then being that mom who is so strict that your kids don't want to tell you anything or share their life with you.
Absolutely.
So, like, my biggest thing right now is walking that fine line between being a good parent and having open dialogue, but not trying to be so cool or too strict to where my kids shut me out or try to drink at my house with their girlfriends. So that's kind of where I am. And boundaries are something that I'm really working on in therapy, just like having like strict boundaries with my kids and them knowing those boundaries. So that
boundaries
way,
are an area that everyone could consistently work on all the time.
100%.
Like that is, I totally agree.
Well, and you know, children will push boundaries. So they kind of figure they have to have a lot of parameters so they know how far they can go with things. So that is something that Travis and I work on. So we kind
But
of
it's not even just like kids. It's coworkers, it's
adults.
parents, it's friends, it's, everyone. Everyone I think has boundary issues that they could constantly be working on. And I think therapy is great at giving you those techniques to establish those boundaries and be firm in there.
Yep, exactly. And something I'm working on my therapist is just having like very clear communication with my kids whenever these things come up. So example, if Chance is having his girlfriend over, I set the stage with him of what's expected, what he can and cannot do. And then whenever she's over, it's not embarrassing for him because he's not getting in trouble.
But if you cross that boundary,
but if you cross the boundary, then we'll have a little conversation. Yeah.
Yep.
So it's actually working out kind of nicely.
If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire. You get matched with a licensed therapist, and you can switch therapists at any time for no additional charge.
Let therapy be your map with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/weeklydose today to get 10% off of your first month. Again, that's BetterHelp, HELP.com/weeklydose. Oh my gosh. Okay, I have a plane story. This is so nasty.
Oh, no.
Okay. And then we'll call it quits. Okay, so Travis and I, whenever we came back from Brussels, first of all, it was a very stressful trip. I'm going to preface that. And
this one when they lost her luggage.
This is when they lost my luggage. It was very stressful. It was 5 days, right? And I was eating outside of my normal food that I normally eat, right? I have a very sensitive stomach. Let me just say that. So anyways, I am tired. I'm sleeping. But I'm also aware, because I'm like right before you go to sleep, where you're like kind of dozing off, but you're still awake enough. Well, I'm also, and we're in first class, I'm also aware that I am blowing kisses from my booty hole at my husband, right? And I turn to the side. Yes.
You're blowing kisses from your booty hole at your husband.
Yes. So I'm very aware.
What
so
a great way to fluff that up.
So yeah. So I am like, my butt just can't hold it in. So anyway, but I'm like, look like I'm asleep, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I can't help it. My stomach is upset, right? And
it's upset about the luggage. It's upset about everything.
So I'm laying there, and I accidentally and I will say my toots are usually very silent. And I let one go, and Travis is sitting beside me, and he's watching a movie, and I'm pretending like I'm sleeping, and he, all of a sudden, I can feel him stand up and take his headphones off. So then he like pushes my arm. He like taps me. And he's like, oh my God, do you smell that? And I pretend like I'm waking up. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? I was like, what are you talking about? I'm sleeping. And he was like, oh my God, I think there's something wrong with the bathroom, because we're like the first door, like in the first class area. So the bathroom's like around the corner. He's like, oh my God, I think there's something wrong with like the bathroom. Like it's backed up or something. Like it smells like the toilet water.
And you're just over there like,
and I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, Travis, I don't smell anything. I don't know. You're crazy. I don't smell anything. So anyways, so then I go back to sleep, and like 20 minutes later, he's like back listening to this thing, right?
back to her scented slumber.
And I go to my sleep, and then it hits me again. I'm like, oh no, here's another kiss that I need to blow him. So I do it again, right? And I'm pretending like I'm asleep. And he's watching his movie, and then I feel, and I'm like having a hard time not laughing because I feel him sit straight again, take his headphones off. And then he taps my head again, and I like pretend like I'm waking up, like, what's going on? And he's like, oh my God, do you smell that? There's something wrong with the toilet. I'm like, I don't know. I was like, Travis, I do not smell anything. I have no idea what you're talking about. I was like, you should get up and check the bathroom just to make sure and help them out. They would want to know if their bathroom is backed up, right? And he's like, oh my gosh, there's something wrong. So anyway,
the way that you entertain yourself with your own butthole
really
is just fascinating.
So then he stands up, goes to the bathroom, and he's like, it smells fine in there. And he talks to the stewardess, and he's like, there's something going on. I keep smelling something. And I'm like sitting there dying laughing. Like every time he's like not turned towards me, I like have to turn my head. I'm like crying about how ridiculous this is. So then, long story short, I do it one more time, then I run out of gas. And kind of the same thing happens. But he literally, it was so funny. So then like 2 days ago, we're sitting there, and we take a bath together every night. It's a small bathtub. We are like knee to knee, like in the bath. But I think it's our romantic time together, right? So he'll hop in the bath, and then I'll just jump in. And he's like, "What? Are you joining me?" And I'm like, "Yep, move on over."
so it's not supposed to be a bath for two. But...
No, but I make it one. So then we're talking, and it gets brought up, and I'm like, "Remember the other day on the plane?" And he was like, "Oh my God, you were so nasty." He's like, it smelled like a sewage was backed up.
You have a history of farting on planes.
I really do. So if you ever sat on a plane by me and it smells, just know.
Yep.
You want to change seats. Yes.
Yep.
Okay, well that's the ending to my story. But thank you guys so much for listening and supporting. You can follow me at Steph Holman.
You can follow me at Trey_Stewart. You can follow our podcast at BS the Podcast, and you can watch us on YouTube at Weekly Dose of BS. Bye.
Bye.
Yay Networks.